Okay, so we're going to continue the game that happened between rezacz Wraku versus Tronic and Vitória Gestais. I'm butchering all the pronunciations, but it's all right. Let's see what happened in the game. The opening was a classical standard type of opening, and that is taking advantage of a pin here. There was a threat to take on f13, so red could not take on m6, the queen. And now, over here, we could already see that yellow hung his queen, basically. The green bishop was there to attack the queen, and yellow took exposure and lost his queen, but that was 2 bishops for a queen. So we advanced to more of a middle game-ish stage of the game. And here, blue blunders a queen and red checks, but blue opens the file for his rook. And this is where we left off last time. They trade queens. So the bishop comes out as a fianchetto, and the blue knight goes back, maybe to shield himself from any attacks and also shield the b6 pawn. So then there is the completion of the trades, and now green decides to open up the file for his rook. And red also opens the file for his rook. And now blue is pushing the pawn to prepare the deployment of his rook, and yellow decides to take his rook and penetrate it in green's camp. So then green castles, which is weird because it was castling from an open file, but yellow's rook is close to checking the green king, so is the red pawn. And now red activates the bishop. He doesn't take the pawn because he doesn't want an open file. So now, the pawn on the blue's camp goes and advances and hits yellow's knight, and that rook is now pinning. So now we have some action in blue's camp. That is supposed to force a pawn break, just in case blue decides to, in the future, take his knight. He doesn't want to move the knight because it is controlling these 2 squares, which could be penetrated by this knight. So he leaves his knight there and attacks the pawn instead. And now the pawn pushes on b10 to d10 to open up the diagonal for the bishop. But he doesn't want to move it too far yet. He wants to move it here to defend the rook. And so then the rook from g11 goes to f11. And that hangs a knight, I think. But we're going to see what happens in the game. He does take the knight. And here, this yellow rook is taking advantage of a pin. So he gave up the knight to, I don't know, keep his pieces active. What am I missing? Now, red is in check after this. Pawn takes, and it hits the blue rook. The rook comes over to put himself on perhaps an open file. And now, yellow rook is under attack. I'm guessing what blue should do next is take the bishop. Does he? He does. And now rezacz is forced to take back here, and then it's actually evident that once green takes the yellow rook, then the bishop takes the rook. So that happens. And now, red doesn't even have to take the green rook. Because as we see, I saw right at the beginning, is that this bishop could just put green in a mating net, and no matter what blue does, that's checkmate. So that was the rest of the third game. and it resulted in rezacz and Wraku89 taking it. He took it and won it 3-0. So congratulations to the titled FIDE Master and Grandmaster players. You will now be moving on to round 2 in the winners bracket. So we have determined where Seven Ronick and Victoria Gastes are going during their next round. They will be facing the losers of the number 6 versus number 11 bracket, and that will be none other than the man speaking right here, who is E4, BC4, QH5, QF7, and Michaela Ruth. Those two will be Victoria and Tronick's next challengers. So keep yourself posted on that game, and the winners, rezacz and Wraku89, will be facing Kuchtimi and Lebgadu92, who were seeded ranked 11th. And this should be a good game to watch because we have seen a lot of 3-0 matches in this arena so far. We have yet to see a N1 or N2 type of match, or even a tiebreaker. But it is very hard to draw in a game of 4-player chess unless both sides play perfectly or one side stalemates the other side. So we're going to leave with that, and thank you guys so much for keeping up with the World 4-Player Chess Championships online teams, and we hope to see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.